2026 is here, and if you thought last year was crazy, this year is already off to an explosive start. America turns 250 in July, the midterm elections are in November. It's going to be nuts and it's going to be impossible to predict. That's why, instead of making any serious predictions for this year, I've drawn up a bingo card for Utah in 2026. These are things I want to see happen, things that I think have a good chance of happening, and things that probably have no chance of happening. But you honestly never know these days.
You bingo!
Cox endorses another Democrat. After saying Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro would make a great president at a Disagree Better event, Cox will double down and endorse another Democrat like Andy Beshear or Wes Moore or his boyfriend Jared Polis. Incumbent Republican congressional face-off. Depending on which map is finalized for Utah's 2026 congressional midterm, we could have a situation where two incumbents are forced into primaries against each other. Burgess Owens versus Celeste Malloy, Burgess versus Mike Kennedy, Celeste versus Kennedy. Nobody wants to run in the far left Salt Lake district, so if that gets finalized, one of Utah's 4 incumbent Republicans is going to be left out in the cold. Beehive Development Agency 2.0. Cox pushed the development of an agency to oversee large developments in Utah and, if necessary, override local zoning regulations to push high-density housing and data center development. It failed, but look for it to make another appearance in the 2026 session. Somali fraud exposed. Nick Shirley's investigations into Minnesota are just the tip of the iceberg, and similar fraud rings will be exposed in states like Utah where massive refugee assistance programs have existed for years. Sex scandal. F***ing over Utahns every day isn't going to be enough for some of the lawmakers in Salt Lake. Whether it's a legislator hooking up with a staffer, a secretary hooking up with a reporter, or the governor cheating on his boyfriend Jared Polis, something is going to get exposed in 2026. A Democrat blue wave. Democrat voters are fired up at the prospect of winning a congressional seat in Utah, and Republican voters are increasingly unsatisfied with the GOP doing little to nothing to fix Utah's problems. This imbalance in voter turnout could result in Democrats picking up seats in Congress, the State House, and the State Senate. MLB team announced. We've got the Olympics, we've got the NHL. The next bread and circus distraction for the masses they want to bring to Salt Lake is the MLB. They've got their fancy renderings. All they need is an expansion team or another failing franchise to make the move like the NHL team did. Donald Trump visits Utah. Trump visited Utah most recently in August 2024, but hasn't visited as president since December 2017. But with Utah's role in the AI infrastructure build-out, Trump will make an official visit to discuss data center expansion with Cox and the Silicon Slopes Industrial Complex. Foreign language road sign. Utah offers its driver's license test in 13 languages and still offers driving privilege cards to illegal immigrants. To make them feel more included, Cox will announce the installation of multi-language road signs. The Dignity Index hosts a debate. Instead of just grading political speech, the Democrat-created and University of Utah-funded group will host debates for the midterms. A new Olympic logo. This psychedelic QR code will get replaced with a new logo that's equally as bad or worse, because Utah has become completely incapable of creating any good designs. Cafe Rio tastes good again. This is just personal, and I don't know if it's because I've gotten older and my palate has gotten more refined, or if the quality of ingredients has just gotten worse. But lately, everything at Cafe Rio tastes like glue, and it's at nearly every location I've been to for the past 2 to 3 years. Kratom banned. Utah legalized Kratom in 2019, and lawmakers are already regretting it. Kratom is an herbal supplement sometimes referred to as legal morphine because of its opioid-like effects on the brain and is available at nearly every smoke shop. An uptick in overdoses has put pressure on Utah lawmakers to ban it. Rolling summer blackouts. What do you get when you mix a desert climate, drought conditions, hot summer days, and massive data centers? You get the perfect storm for spiking energy costs, and potential rolling blackouts for neighborhoods if supply can't match the energy these data centers demand. Sports gambling legalized. Utah is one of 2 states with a statewide ban on gambling. Despite this, mobile sports gambling has taken over nearly every aspect of professional and college sports, with apps like Prize Picks utilizing loopholes to offer sports betting to Utahns. Just like the NFL, NBA, and MLB have cozied up with sports betting partners to get in on the massive cash flow, Watch for Utah lawmakers to push for legalization to increase state tax revenue and continue making Utah a sports-friendly destination. Gavin Newsom visits Utah. Whether it's for a Park City fundraiser, a midterm rally for the Democrats in Salt Lake, or a friendly Disagree Better event with Spencer Cox, there are plenty of reasons for Newsom to potentially visit Utah. Congressional retirement. Instead of two Republicans facing off in a messy, expensive, and potentially embarrassing primary, one of Utah's incumbents retires. NIL scandal. NIL is destroying college athletics. The evidence is everywhere, but is alarmingly noticeable at the University of Utah, which recently partnered with a private equity firm to manage its athletics department. Billionaire boosters and hedge funds are lining up to throw millions of dollars at 18 and 19-year-olds in a new industry that's still operating with little to no rules. It's a recipe for disaster, and when combined with the proliferation of mobile sports gambling, it's only a matter of time before a massive scandal is exposed. Vasa sauna smells clean. I'm brave enough to admit that I'm a Vasa bro. I'm brave enough to bench press without a spotter. However, my bravery is tested when I sit in a Vasa sauna.
Needs members. Okay. Whoa, God, yuck, yuck, yuck,
What?
yuck. Wow, what happened in there?
I don't know.
There is stink in there.
Seriously guys, how hard would it be to leave a wax diffuser or something in there overnight? Or some organic air freshener? Some days are worse than others, but I feel like the average smell can best be described as fresh butt. Utah's birth rate rises. Utah's birth rate has been falling for years, and while we're still considered one of the top states for baby making, our birth rate is still falling fast. Will 2026 be the year this trend is reversed? Feds build another data center. The NSA already operates a massive data center in Utah County, and the largest data center in the country is currently in development in Utah. With Cox pushing Operation Gigawatt and the legislature trying to strip cities and towns of their zoning powers, will another federal data center be welcomed? Mike Lee to the Supreme Court. Clarence Thomas is 77. Samuel Alito is 75. John Roberts is 71. If any of them retire or die and a spot on the Supreme Court opens up, will Trump finally appoint Mike Lee? Who would Cox appoint to fill Lee's spot? Deidre Henderson? Himself? This year could see answers to those questions. New State House Speaker. Mike Schultz has been the Speaker for about 2 years, which so far is about half as long as his predecessors Brad Wilson and Greg Hughes. Will he continue leading the House for another full year, or will a new establishment puppet be put in charge? And last but not least, 2 new LDS temples. I have no idea where, I have no idea when, this is just a random guess, but 2 new temple announcements in Utah doesn't seem that out of the question. So those are my official bingo card events I'm keeping an eye out for in 2026. Follow me on Twitter and subscribe now to stay up to date on the latest political news in Utah, and thank you for watching.